Hello, 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 and welcome to Shared Space with Quida and Chap. Quida is on her way. Um, real quick, while we're waiting for her, tonight we got Jeff Lukeski. He's a film writer, producer, actor. You know how the hustle is, guys. He's out here making his vision happen and has a great team with him. He's going to introduce and talk about project they're working on and really whatever else they want to talk about. Mike is yours, guys. Um, Real quick, we had an excellent event Friday, the father son basketball game off the chain. You guys know down McCullough. Um, we missed the mayor as usual. No big deal. Next Friday, we have a father son football game Friday, the 23rd, 1 to 5 at down at McCullough Homes. Robert C. Marshall down by the field. So come on through. We got free resources, free food, and you can jump into father son flag football game. Laquita Chansey is working with Tasmere Gathers. I know they got another pitch contest coming up, so stay tuned for that. Those are always good, great networking, and somebody walks out of there with a prize or some free mentorship classes. So that's really great. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't know why I said Wednesday. Sunday, trying to remember everything. Sunday mornings at 9:30, between 9:30 10 o'clock, guys. If you want to join the fellowship and build up network and community and just meet other entrepreneurs, artists, activists, just people that love the city. They're passionate about the city and the community. We have a community walk under the Walk with a Doc program every Sunday at Lake Montebello. Between 9:30 and 10, we start to gather. We walk around the lake. We fellowship. We have conversations of intent and meaning. Um, and then we get you out by 11, so you can still get to church if church is your jam. Um, and I'm trying to make sure. I think that's everything we got coming up. Again, July next month. Mark your calendars, guys. July 22nd. Huge event down Father Hooper Fields, Chesterfield and Harford Road. We're gonna have the first ever outdoor, free to the community, fight for the community boxing event with the Agogi Project, being sponsored by Mac Lewis Foundation. So we're coming together and bringing some gyms together and some kids together across the city for some USA boxing sanctioned amateur fights. So our kids are not just going to be doing exhibitions; they're going to be earning credentials towards their fight records. Working towards our Golden Gloves and possibly going pro out of Baltimore. So it's good to see the collaboration between the gyms and the city coming together to celebrate that. We always need donations. We always need volunteers. If you're a community resource, please plug into Agogi Project at Bmore or Agogi Project Bmore. Let me see if I have it. Just check them out on IG right here. Connect through the inbox. Look at the poster. We're raising money. Along with other things. If you want to be a vendor, a food truck, just reach out on here and we'll get you guys connected. It's going to be great. And then August, just real quick, August 26th, we're looking at the historic Pensy Ave parade. Let's see, June 23rd is Sunday. That's following June 22nd, June 23rd at Mount Zion Church. We'll be having a huge back to school giveaway. So if you guys need book bags and other resources, you know how the church does. They got the big parking lot, the big building. So they have a lot of resources and vendors available for the community stuff. So stop by there, get some free stuff, get your book bags and supplies for school. And finally, looking at October 21st, guys, if you know how we do down the avenue with the parades, October 21st is a target date. We're going to take over the harbor again like we did last August, but we're going to do a night parade with the bands. So you want to be there, cameras ready, Facebook Live ready. It's going to be the jam. If y'all remember how we did August, we're going to do it the same, just a little bit different. So stay tuned to us. Stay tuned and plugged in on the social media. A lot of free community events coming up. We're always always focus on if you have the capacity, ways you can give back, because everybody we bring to the show, they can always use a little lift up or a little support here and there. So without further ado, guys, I think that's all the announcements. You guys are tired of listening to me talk. We'll make sure when Quida gets in, we'll get her introduced to the team. But we have Mr. Jeff Lukeski. So please introduce yourself. What's going on, man?
There. Oh, this is so cool, Chap. So thank you so much. Yeah, I just we just finished 4 scenes in the past month. So it's a little surreal. I think some of the stuff we were putting on social media this past weekend was just like, oh my goodness, this is coming true. So our movie is shot all in Maryland. There's one scene in Pennsylvania, but it's called In Unison. It's set in the near future, and two men from a secret society of thieves discover alien artwork. And when they do, everyone on the planet gets a message at the exact same time. But the message is mysterious, so you have to check it out next May, only in theaters. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce two of our key actors in the movie, played by Lenny Sherburne, is playing Katya, and then Deal by an awesome actor named Dylan Higgins. I'm going to have them talk about their characters. So, Dylan, Lenny.
All right, welcome to the show, guys.
Ooh, thanks for having me, man.
So Dylan, I guess because Dylan was originally had a smaller character, but once I got to know him, he read for the character of Deal and nailed it. So I couldn't. Now I can't imagine anyone else even in that role.
Nice. So, yeah, real quick, guys, if you want to check out the video, I'm gonna post this in the chats as well. This is the YouTube, the first trailer, and that'll lead you to some other interesting content.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, when you start to see the next trailers, it's not going to look like anything. It's you can start to see it's like, oh boy, the world building is coming. But yeah.
So I forget how we got connected. No, it was really cool, guys. We were filming at a bar down by the Ravens Stadium. Met most of these guys and saw some really creative, just like really awesome editing and creative stuff going on. I had the privilege to be down there with Teresa Davis, who could not join us tonight, but she wanted to do a little cameo co-hosting with you. But it was really fun as extras in the trailer. So I'm really excited about how you shared about being at Comic-Con. So if you want to share about that as well, and maybe you guys could talk a little bit too about the anagrams and the little puzzle solving along the way to really unravel an extra depth to the story. I've enjoyed that. And I was really excited to like figure some of it out without cheating and asking Jeff, like I give up, right? So, if you want to speak to that.
Sure. Lenny was in teasing and for that, and that was one of those parts where she just nailed it. So the camera was in love with her the entire time, and she that teasing elitism role of just, well, she just thinks she's better than everybody. But if you scramble the words up, it creates what the ending is what she was really trying to explain to Ashlyn Blakely's character Weaver in the end. It's all those are double meanings. So if you look at them at the front, but Lenny really nailed it. That was just one of those slick little walks to the cities. But it was really fun to shoot that one. Lenny,
so
you want to kind of go over that?
Yeah. If you want to share.
So Katya, obviously with teasing elitism, that's the first time we'll get to see her before the film comes out next year. She's kind of a little bit of a badass of her spirit. She sort of does whatever she wants. We don't get to see a whole lot of her backstory yet, but we will find out she has some complicated relationships as we progress into the movie. But with teasing elitism, it's just a fun little short where we kind of get to see her in her element. She knows she's bad. She knows that people are staring at her, and she doesn't care. And in the film, it's neat because she actually catches a wannabe thief, which is Weaver, and she's herself as a master thief, so she's just kind of blown away how stupid this girl is, thinking she can get away with it. And we just kind of follow the progression of how she sort of brings this girl aside because she may or may not see something in her. And hopefully, as we progress forward, we'll get to see more about how their relationship grows and what kind of connection they might have. That's pretty much it.
It's giving me like a Batman mentorship vibe. Just hearing you talk. So Dylan, what is let's go in depth on your character, man. Because I've seen you behind the camera, I've seen you in front of the camera. You do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Definitely wearing a lot of hats. But man, Deal is just Deal is so much fun because I don't really Jeff kind of gave me a pass on this one because I don't really have to act. Deal and I are just very.
My friend, that is the secret to film. But go ahead.
Yeah, like I don't have to. It's just such a perfectly written character for kind of my personality and just kind of how I do things. He's he's the man behind the chair. He's the man behind the keyboard, whatever you want to call him. But he's like a little bit damaged. Like he's had so much happen to him, and we'll get into that at another time. But he is just trying to keep it together for himself, for everyone around him, and just make sure that he's doing everything in his power to just kind of hold all the threads together.
So I'll speak as I've only been doing this about 2-3 years, the acting hustle, but I love when almost everything I get cast for, it's like I'm 45 years old. I've had like every job you can think of. My resume looks like a shotgun, right? So it's like for me, my angle is that I'm not really a classically trained theater actor, right? But I learn from the actors on set as I go. But it's like, oh, they're casting a mechanic. I've been a mechanic, so I don't have to fake it, right? Yeah. They're casting a protester. I've done that, or a police officer. Well, I work with them very closely. So it's like my secret to this hustle is that like I'm not really acting. I'm just like referring back to one of my like old jobs, one of my old experiences, and it's so it comes across very genuine. Where I probably couldn't act to make it genuine if it's not a part of me, it's not in me. I don't have it to give to you. You know what I mean? So
you did a really good job at Checker Spot, man. Like, I can't wait to show you your footage. You did a really good job. So I know, especially with just helping out on set, man, you're gonna get a credit for at least a grip because of ordering pizza for everybody and stuff.
That'll be my first one, man. Thank you, awesome. And that's what I love about this too, about like the film. I'll just share with you, and then I have a question for you. But like I love how there's like no rules to film. It's like do what it takes. Everybody has different angles and different creativity and different like things they bring to the table or things that motivate them. And it's like you might learn some rules, but really there's no rules to this stuff. Like just whatever makes your vision become.
And that's the correct mentality to have. Yeah, you're right. If you start to put yourself in a box to say, well, someone told me this movie has to be 90 minutes. Well, then you just lost 90% of what the original goal was. You don't have to be restricted, man. Like if no one wants to watch your movie, make it for you. Make it for you.
So that leading this question, like how long have you been at this, or when did you decide to create a movie? Is this like kind of your first project, or like what was your journey to get here to where you're collaborating with these other artists?
Yeah, and well, I think if I was to say, I probably had some kind of just a connection with just storytelling. And then with my dad getting a VHS camera, it's just like, well, I think I could just start making my own. So when I was little, I would just start to put the little pieces together, and Suze and Jen, who are now producers of the movies, were the little actors. And so this was a long time coming, I think. But I didn't really kick it into gear until I left my long-term job. So it was one of those things where it's just I can't do all this work for someone else anymore, And so I gotta go. So I left a 26-year career because I believed in this story so much, and I met so many great people along the way that enjoyed film.
That
and it's
part,
just,
bro.
Not only do you want to be here, you're a hard worker, and that's all it takes. It's just if you're a creative person and you work your ass off, imagine those two things coming together. Like, oh man, I'm such a hard worker. Well, how can you be a hard worker and then make your work so much better around other people because you're creative too? Those two things together are an amazing combination, man. If you can find out a way to work your ass off and creatively do things better or equal to everyone else, you're not gonna, no one's going to beat you, because you just can't, because you're going to figure out a way to work around. It's just, while you go to sleep, I got 3 more hours. It's that kind of thing. And it's not a competition. It's just to show that like this is what it takes. It's the loss of sleep.
That's why I was hoping Teresa got on here, man, because she works like 60 hours a week doing hair, and then when she's not working, she's filming, and she's got her iPhone. It's like it's every extra waking hour. I can't even get her to, like, if I don't go over there and get a haircut or I don't show up on set, I'm not going to see her. She's working. Right.
No, that there is no like glamour life of a movie star, man. You're always working. I mean, I'm obsessed with this movie, and I need to be, because it's, when it comes out next year, I have a lot of people that are now emotionally involved, and they want to see the best
Bro,
possible project
let me
with an
tell you how
idea like
excited
this
I am, man.
and a scope like this.
Bro, I'm so
Yeah.
excited for this project.
Yeah, this is good. This is going to be it's. Well, I had Lenny did her executive producer thing today, and I checked out a location, and what happened was we started talking to the owners of this business, and it was so cool because we had the same vibe of like treat everything as just like a gift, and it's just don't waste it. And so I'm glad I was able to put them into the movie, but it was cool to talk with similar people, man, to just do your thing and make magic happen. It was really cool meeting those guys. But
I like so I'm a lifetime film fan, bro. Like when I tell you, like that's what's so great about falling into this industry the way that I did. It was like somebody was like, "You want to be in a movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who wouldn't?" And being a lifetime film fan and understanding that I'm going to break it down for the kids, and I give them my movie culture and like movie homework, like watch this, now watch this, and take them on a journey. Like this week, my son watched last day of school is Monday, came home, we watched Drunken Master, Jackie Chan. Then the next day, he watched Jackie Chan exactly 20 years later in the first Rush Hour. And it was just like really cool to just share in general, like taking them on his culture and teaching them that like film is so much in the spirit of unity, because you have like your authors and your writers coming together with your visual artists and your photographers coming together with your musicians writing scores. And like, there's just an absolute spirit of unity that goes into like brewing a genuine film and not just like bowing to the studio money, right? Like,
so it's you're the equivalent of a chef, but with with a visual medium, and it's the same thing. You just know the ingredients. This goes there, but I think one of the really cool things with having guys like my sisters and Dylan and Ashlyn and Lenny and stuff is that what I did was basically I drew a hand. A hand basically is a square, some rectangles, some circles and stuff, and it would look like a rough hand. But what those guys are going to do is they're going to take that hand and say, yeah, that looks like a hand. It looks like a movie. That was okay. And I did that myself. And I did, imagine if I just didn't let anyone else see it. I buried myself in a hole for a year and I released in unison. So I took this amazing idea and I just squandered it by not getting feedback. And there's no way I'm going to take that risk. So I'm going to draw my hand with all the circles and but they're going to come through and start carving it. So when you take a step back, it looks like this gorgeous hand, because it's no longer just squares and circles, man. It's like now a part of everyone else. Because if they're going to watch this movie and they're going to be represented forever when this thing hits Fight Club status, because I think it will. It's going to be Fight Club. If Fight Club and The Matrix had a baby and was raised by the Blair Witch Project.
Hey, that's a vibe. That's how you describe movies, bro. You speak my language.
Yes. 1999 was the last time we had a movie with this kind of a message. And that was and then the next year X-Men came out, and it was Comic-Cons from here on out. We loved 1999. It was the greatest year in the history of cinema.
Was it 2000 2001 that Equilibrium came out right after The Matrix? That was my shit. My jam.
Oh yeah, Equilibrium. Oh, Christian Bale one, right? Yeah. It was a year later. Yep.
That was the first time I saw Christian Bale.
Yep.
But let me share with the audience, man, guys. Like, I'm so excited about this movie. Especially when he told me he's doing like the Comic-Con hustle. Bro, that's so dope. To the point where I called Comic-Con organizers. I'm like, yo, can I get a press pass? Because like I'm broke. You all know I stay broke, but I really wanted to be there and witness like, so we're going to be there on site with blackusa.news. We're going to be going live from Comic-Con, and we are going to be at your booth. We're going to be, we're going to be broadcasting the live. You guys have a panel conversation, right?
Yeah, so we're going to. We haven't secured the time slot yet, but we'll have a panel there at least to launch the trailer for the first time, like on a big screen. So there'll be and so the stuff you've seen now is just really just John Paulo looking at his ID, the world building, and some stuff of just like a little creepy things, but it's just all these little preludes are just gonna just knock people's socks off when they see all the trench coats out, all the some scenes completed with effects, and it's gonna look crazy. I already have a little bit of the trailer in mind already, and it's it's intense. Yeah, it's gonna be intense.
So guys, that's I'll double check the date, but I know that's in September for Baltimore's Comic-Con.
They bumped it back a week because it conflicted, I think, with a Ravens game, so they moved it. That was a good call.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna be live there, man. That's gonna be fun. So, Lenny, how did you get plugged in with Jeff's project? You guys family? Is it work or casting calls, casting networks? Like, what's
Honestly, it was kind of random. I saw a job staying on one of the acting boards, just kind of one of the extras. Wasn't even big roles. It was just something I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. I could just do on the weekend, local. And so I just kind of submitted, and he got back to me right away. It's like, hey, it's cool, you want to do this, but would you be interested in auditioning for something bigger? And I was like, sure, why not? And he sent me the size for Quida and read it. And I was just like, wow, this is really cool. Like, the role was intriguing. Like, I didn't see a lot, but it was just a little bit. Really caught my interest. And so I submitted it and got back to me right away. Hey, I'm going to be our Quida. It's like, heck yeah, sounds amazing. I learned the story, this world. I was totally drawn in. I love stuff along these lines, and just actually to work on something like this pretty incredible. I feel like we're doing something great. And Jeff's been amazing. Dylan, Ashley, you guys are so much fun to work with. I feel like we've got such a great cast, and we're just strong little family right now. We're really excited to see where we're going to go with it.
Yeah, and like Jeff said, guys, like they're just really great energy on set, man. Everybody that's on set is like very positive. They bring because that's what you got to do, man. People, especially in Baltimore, a lot of people can drain your energy, but like surrounding yourself with people that are gonna like refill your hope tanks and like energize you, man. That's the vibe on set when you're there, man.
And it's free.
Yeah,
Surround yourself with good people.
That's right. That's why we do the walk, right? That's why we do the Lake Montebello.
Exactly. Yeah, like on the set. Do I need any negativity? No, man. Our set's drama free.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep. So, Dylan, how did you get connected with the project?
Well, I was at work one day, and the new boss came in, and we were outside in these like shipping containers, just sorting through like cases of like shelves and other like just like these little fixtures. And he looked at me, he's like, so you're into like videography and stuff, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, well, I'm working on this movie. I was like, oh, cool, what's it about? And he's like, it's in unison. It's about this like alien artwork, everyone gets the same message at the same time kind of thing. Let me know and I'll have you read it sometime. I was like, yeah, cool. And some time goes by, we don't really talk about it a lot. And then one day he's like, yeah, I have a draft. And he just sent it to me. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. And basically since then, we've just been spitballing ideas back and forth. Some of them he's used, some of them, weren't the best, but it's been really cool to kind of see where it was and now what it is.
And some of those ideas, let me tell you, man, on other projects, they may work, or it's something that like you can take it and build around on another project too. So like never scrap them, right? It's always like, remember?
Yeah.
Because that's how legends like Indiana Jones and Star Wars were built, bro. Like they revisited some stuff that was like, you know what? I put this away, like you said, Joe. Like I had this idea, I could put it away or I could bring it out. They brought it out, They had fellowship. They had, Lucas and Spielberg historically, like knowing about their relationship and reading about it and listening to interviews, like they shared, they communicated, they were like collaborative and built empires, man. And like so much influenced my film culture growing up, like in the 80s, like, like everything, like from the 70s and 80s, man, like out back in the day when they made movies, if they were really, really supremely successful movies, they didn't really show them on TV yet. They didn't have streaming, but what they would do is come back out again in the theater for another season. And so I was born in 78. However, when they brought back original Star Wars: A New Hope, my dad took me at like 1 year old. So of course I don't remember it, but I've heard the story a million times. So I can tell you, like I was there for the first Star Wars, and I think subconsciously it imprinted on me because like film is my language, bro. Like I love it,
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I think some people are just in tune with that style of medium. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's like music. It's like you ever seen the comedies where somebody's like, "So you like music?" Like, Of course, like I like music. Like everybody loves. It's like film. Like everybody loves film. You just you
Yeah,
might not
yeah,
like the same films, but like it's like
yeah.
um,
I hate movies. Oh, geez,
yeah, like
sorry.
who says that? There's always a movie for somebody because somebody's out there telling a truth. That's your truth, right? I don't know. I'm a film fanatic. So I have you guys know I have a show we do on the first Sunday of the month called First Sundays, and we just talk about anything film, gaming, or anime. But
Movie.
I've been like having really great conversations like this where I almost like just want to do like a Sunday chill Sunday 3 p.m. every week. Just like whoever wants to hop on, just have a conversation about movies and like just build some content around like different perspectives of film and capturing that from our generation because we got guys like as young as Dylan and guys as old as myself and everything in between.
Yeah.
I'll share with you the conversation I started, Jeff. So like Jeff was willing to start a conversation about maybe doing a Baltimore Film Festival or having like a
Mhm.
trailer marathon where like we get all our local artists together and do like 4 hours of like trailers and shorts and stuff like that. We don't know. It's in the works. We had to start a conversation, but to say that the guy at Lexington Market, my brother Mark something Italian because he's got this long Italian last name. He is like he's an older guy, a little older than me, and he's like in love with the silver screen. And he was so impressed with my knowledge of that like we talked for like I got stuck in the market at Lexington Market talking for like 3 hours with this guy about movies. And I'm like, bro, I got to go to work, but like I'm loving this conversation. So I really do. So I'm like trying to probably do it once a week, man. If you guys are down, we'll start just sharing that, or even I don't know because you guys can keep us up to date on your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We can like for instance with your movie, like what for this in unison and I love everything about it. Even the title is like a message of unity, right? And we know that unity brings healing and hope and other inspirational messages along with it. What inspired the in unison? Because like I'll say instantly my first like surface thing that I see is the Justin Timberlake movie where they had the countdown timers on their life.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
dope.
I'm
And
sure
so,
that
like,
that would get something.
I don't want to
Yeah.
give it too
Oh,
much credit, but it sort of reminded me of.
oh, exactly. Oh, yeah. It should. I mean, it's that was. I think theirs was a similar message too of using, just that really slick metaphor of your currency as how much time you have left. But I mean, I think cinematically that was the best to do because it looked the slickest. In Unison is very practical, meaning that it's like that's probably where you would put something like that if it was injected in your body. So that was a different part. That was just more from a practical standpoint. And when the actors are on screen doing it, they're looking as if it's been there forever. It's not going to be a showboaty. Look at this. It's Dylan did this really awesome
Right.
gesture the other day or on the film where he's so used to just taking the image off his wrist and do it. He just did an underhand lob. And I thought that was so cool. Just like that's
Yeah, that was cool. I remember
just
filming
another
that. That was
day.
pretty
Yeah,
dope.
it wasn't this whiz when they first came out and everyone was like, this is so cool.
Exaggerated,
It's just so
right.
common now that it's like twiddling your thumbs is when you cast the image. And he improv that and it was a really awesome touch. Yeah.
It really was. So let me ask you, you guys and Dylan, are you guys fans of like and I don't want to take away from the project you're doing by mentioning other projects, but like different vibes I get, like you guys, how do you guys feel about the new like Jordan Peele Twilight Zone stuff? Because it has a little bit of that vibe, or like Black Mirror. Are you guys fans of Black Mirror? 'Cause
Yeah,
I definitely get that energy.
anything twist. Exactly. Anything twist, I definitely think that's good. That would in unison would fit in with that. I mean, the ending, the back third of in unison is nothing but wait, stop, whoa, slow down. Wait, that's too much. It's twist after twist of just.
I heard
stuff.
things setting the ball
Jordan
high,
Peele,
baby. I heard things.
Yeah, Jordan Peele does a really nice job of building that tension visually, especially in Get Out. Like that was phenomenal. I think Get Out was like it was amazing. I think he tapped into that energy of Twilight Zone, and he was able to mirror that. But yeah, twists are going to be in every J. Jinx Films movie. Like that's the title's an anagram, and there's going to be a twist.
Well,
So
and it's funny because J. Jinx makes me think of like, so I'm a League of Legends player, and there's a character called Jinx, and she's a misfit. She's a very mischievous character. So like,
Yeah.
you think of hijinks, right? Like, so that's cool. I guess
Yeah.
you're already like some,
Easy to
you're
say,
already
it's-
kind of
yeah.
giving us a hint in the title, in the company name. That's
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, and unison isn't the isn't a anagram, but the poster is. The all the words in the poster make up an anagram for the ending, and that's gonna be something that'll be like on a DVD Easter egg or something. Like, yeah.
Nice. I love it, man.
And here's the business plan too, Chap. You ready? Since I do like, the movie's message is to get up and do things. You know, get up and do things. And they're gonna say, "Oh, Unison was cool. Where can I stream it?" Oh, you can stream it, and you can stream it for my production budget. So if you want to stream it at home,
Oh, we're breaking up a little bit.
Ooh,
okay. If you want
yep.
to stream it at home, click
Go ahead.
enter, download it. Thank you. But otherwise, $5 up the street at the theater. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be that kind of thing. I'm just like, no. And who's gonna tell me no? Who's gonna say you can't do that?
Yeah,
I
because
just
there's
put it
no
on
rule.
video and charge 15 grand for my movie to stream it. But you could walk down the street with your own 2 legs that you have and go to the theater. Or I'm going to show it for free in hospitals, veterans halls, things like that, where people can't. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
yeah. So it's very
this
interesting you
person
say
just
that.
got back from a war and he's got his leg blown off and he can't walk to see in unison. So I'm going to play it for free for him. So that kind of thing. So it's just one of those things where it's not only going to be in your face, it's going to be consistent. I'm not going to hold back. Like if the playing field is this is it. You know, it's for the fact that you need to be so glad that you had this chance to be here, or you can waste it by looking into a piece of glass. Go see this movie, and hopefully that'll get you off your ass to do this. And it's the scene when Brad Pitt in Fight Club talked to that guy, and he's like, "What are you doing?" "I want to be a veterinarian." "If you're not on your way to be a veterinarian in 1 week, I will come back and kill you." And that was like, this is the message of this movie, man. And we have not heard that since Fight Club.
No, I dig it, man. So what's your connection to what brought you to an appreciation for disabled veterans or veterans in general? And I'll tell you, it's interesting because after I started, after I did the work with you that one night in the bar, my journey, my path was, a lot of people know me. I kind of, I'm a little disorganized, a little ADHD, but I do what's in front of me with excellence. And a lot of times I feel I just walk in the spirit or walk in faith. And my journey after filming with you led me to South Broadway, 234 South Broadway, intentionally over the last couple months serving veterans and veterans experiencing homelessness, specifically with Mr. Harvey Thomas and Albert Miller and Josh Lubin. Those guys are down at the Shepherd Pratt Veterans Center. So what drew you towards, this message or this intentionality for them?
Well, I think I definitely resonated when I put on a suit. I got cast as an extra for Lioness, and I put on a military suit, and I said, this is so uncomfortable. And I said, I'll do anything. I'll play a doctor. I'll play this, but I can't be in the military. And I felt so uncomfortable, and I left, and I said, there are real men and women who are volunteering at such a young age to say, no. I'm so proud of where I live that I'm willing to throw my life at it. And then what? You're gone and you come back and you're a piece of shit? Like, no, man. These people willingly said, I love this place so much that I'm beyond it, and I'm willing to do stuff for it. And they cannot be treated like it's their fault to want to have honor for where they live. There's nothing wrong with that. And these men and women are doing it, and they're doing it proudly. And I did not feel right being in that suit. But it's things that I would never be able to resonate with that.
No, and it's not for everybody.
I think I would make a badass soldier. That wasn't my trajectory. It wasn't. I still love the United States. It's the best place to live, and I wish more people would say that for the right reasons. It's but these guys that really said, no, I'll do it because I love America. They're not. How can you possibly trump that? Like, how could you possibly get any more badass than that? You can't. So they need that deserve of saying, like, no, man, I will show for free for you, man. Like, you're doing the right thing. But it's that muddy stuff of just, can we just breathe, take a step back, and pretend that this is someone else's fight, and it will look so trivial. Oh, there's just people. We're doing the same thing. If you take a step back and look at other people fighting, a bunch of morons. It's like everyone's pointing right back at you, man.
And look, So like, and again, this is very silly, but I actually use this analogy a lot. Like, it's real simple. To your point, like hopefully we've all seen Monsters Inc., right? And they're so hard focused on this system and structure built around manipulating fear to power for trading fear for power.
You
When
didn't
in
realize that
fact,
laughter was powerful? Yeah.
right, when in fact laughter and joy and like the positive energy was exponentially more power, right? But we're so focused on the old ways or focusing on power through fear as a community, and it's like a real simple message in a real silly way, but like you get it, and that's kind
No,
of where we're at. That was a message
yeah,
of for me. That was a message of Monsters Inc.
yeah, it really was. It really was. It was just like there's nothing to be afraid of if you just constantly have just humor around. It's just people just going to make you laugh, and it's just usually it's enough to get you going, man. I think on our JJ sets, it's very energetic and it's very magnetic, and there's a little static of just okay. I'm so glad to see you guys. Like you're crying in front of them, you're laughing in front of them, you're doing all these crazy things, but no one's making fun of you. As a matter of fact, we're here to help everybody with it because you're not going to be embarrassed. It's just a really cool vibe, and it's just one of those things where it's just infectious. And I just can't wait to shoot again. We're shooting on Friday. And I'm like, well, we're getting butterflies.
Yeah, and so let me tell you guys, for everybody watching, we got a good number of watchers. You guys can comment on if you have any questions for the guests or anything. If you look in the comments, guys, I posted the YouTube link for the first trailer for In Unison. But let me share with my audience. So, one of my nephew's best friends, Austin, works with 6 Tier Productions, and I'm helping their. I'm privileged to be a part of their project as well. And so, like, just having conversations with Jeff, it's really great to see that collaborative spirit because immediately he's like, "Yeah, let me talk to these guys. Let me engage them and maybe give them some space in this universe where they can create and produce and act and do whatever." So. Very much, Jeff is all about like supporting other artists as well and jumping in the community. Just on a word or a recommendation, he's like, yeah, let's get these guys and get connected. So it's a really great collaborative spirit that is unique. I won't say it's not hard to find because people like us, Dylan, we always find each other.
And that's the scary part. And this is going to be a wake-up call that there's so many talented people that are just stocking shelves at Target, like me and Dylan, and just like we're there, and we've been here the entire time, but you're not listening. And so now we're going to make noise, and it's just if you're creative and you work your ass off, you could do whatever you need to do, man, because you'll find a way, because you'll be creative and you won't stop until you figure out a way. And that's what I decided to do, man. It's just figure it out. This is your next quote. Just figure it out. Like you'll be fine.
Right, like that. What's that? The one meme where he's like, "Just do it." That's my jam, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my jam.
It really can't be that hard. Like it really can't be that hard. Yeah, it's just if you just work your ass off and figure it out.
Yeah, just do it. I'm with it, man. So we got about 10 minutes left, man. Do you guys anything else you want to share? Any last words or I don't know. Mike, we still got the mic for another 10 minutes. It's been a great conversation. I'm excited about In Unison, guys. We'll definitely communicate what day the trailer will be at Comic-Con and the panel so you guys can visit and engage these guys in person and really, if you're not picking it up on the screen, man, really engage and soak up some of this energy because it's a vibe, man.
So let me one more plug. At Comic-Con, I'm gonna be raffling off 5 mystery seats to the first ever rough cut of In Unison on September 30th. I can only take 30 people, so we'll have 25, of the cast and crew, and then 5 people that are completely outside of the production. And so all 30 people are gonna go into the anonymous feedback and just load it with feedback. Because if I do this in 30, I have picture lock. I have one more scene to film in Puerto Rico in October, but it'll be enough where we can see In Unison, like full rough cut, no music, no sound effect. You see it just so we can get a context, and then screen it for everybody, give me feedback, and then I have 7 months to curate it after that. So it feels really good to be moving at this pace. So Comic-Con will be raffling off 5 seats to see the first ever rough cut in September.
Awesome, guys. I'm excited for that. So we'll keep you posted on that. Let me ask you, so this is a question, like, because I'm new to the trade. I learn everything I can. I soak up knowledge as I can, and plug in where I fit in. And as far as like editing music, right? Like, so you're building this film. It's going to be out next May. If you wanted to use like, because some of it has like, so some of the visually feels has like, for me and my music culture, the visuals inspired, or how I relate to like I could watch a trailer, turn off the sound, and plug on a like Dark Side of the Moon or Pink Floyd vibe, right? So using commercial music, what does it look like for using commercial music for your film? Like, I have no idea, right? Like, do you pay somebody? You call lawyers? Like, or does everything have to be original?
No, that's a good question, because it's everything. So the route that we took was we're using Uvito, which was a band that was founded in Maryland. I think they disbanded around 2014, but they're around. They were very popular even in the New York music scene, led by a world-class cellist named Amy Cavanaugh. And she was fortunate enough to say, yes, you can use our music. So they have 2 albums. 100% their credit, and the music fits beyond perfectly. Even the characters have their own theme, as if it was written for these kind of characters. It's spooky, but it's
baby,
coming together.
I
And
love
we also
that.
have original composition from Eros Cartacini. He's a veteran of like 99 movies, and he's given us a 3-minute track. So we're going to use that for some of the alien technology scenes. So it's going to be a fusion of a little bit of synth with Amy's really wild like earth punk.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
man.
it's gonna sound amazing too. Like, you could turn off the audio and just listen to the Unison soundtrack. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah.
No, I like that. So like, so Dylan, you're probably the youngest. I know Lenny's probably 21 plus shipping and handling. But
You're too kind.
Dylan,
We'll take it.
Dylan, have you ever heard of the Dark Side of Oz?
Dark Side of Oz?
Yes. All right. So I knew you were too young to hear about this. So
Yeah.
just thought you guys have heard about it. So check this out. The Wizard of Oz opens up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So
Mhm.
so the funny story is like, and I don't know if you guys ever heard this half of the story, but Pink Floyd, the band, Sid and them, like, they always denied that there was any collaboration to make that happen. And then in 2005, Alan Parsons from Alan Parsons Project was actually the producer on that album. And he revealed in an interview that this urban legend for like 40 years was true, and that the band didn't know it, but they spent like 6 to 8 months in the studio after they recorded, timing it to line up with cues in the movie. So
Really?
like, super dope. Yeah,
What?
yeah, man. So it's like this urban
Wow, I
legend
didn't know
where
that.
everybody's like, "Is this real?" And finally, I like to get the producers like, "Yeah, we did that," and it was like,
Wow.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
so that's the kind of like folklore kind of like urban legend vibe that this movie's given me, guys. I'm and me being a sci-fi, I'm like, so like Comic-Con, I was at the Star Trek conventions in the '82, bro. Like, my dad had me at them bitches. Like, it evolved from, so like, I'm a Star Trek guy. Like, I grew up on the old stuff. I watched all the movies, all the everything, the reboots. Like, I'm consumed by Star Trek. I love sci-fi, anything dystopian, anything, like, it really fuels my passion for like the government, because we as a people, if we really came together, our country would be in a lot better shape if we just came together and stopped letting our servants, who we perceive as leaders, make decisions, right? Because the public servants, all the way up to the president, policymakers, they're public servants. We're actually the leaders. We voted for you to speak for us, but they get there and they do what they want. They're not our leaders. President is not a leader, right? Like, my mayor is not a leader. We're the leaders. They work for us. And so like, anything that really chips away at that message and like gives power back to the people, man, I'm like, that's my jam.
Yeah.
And this has
And
that vibe, man. I don't know the plot. I don't know. I'm not trying to like reveal anything.
No,
'cause
I
just don't know,
think
like,
it's no, the end message is for sure. It's for sure is very much embrace and don't take anything for granted. It's very much so, of just just hug your mom next time you see her. Like, it's because
Yeah,
you never
man.
know. Because you never know. Yep. You never know.
Awesome.
So it's just one of those positivity things. Like, when you leave the theater, tell someone about it. Don't text them, don't share it on social media. Do it something like, oh man, I saw in Unison. And then the word travels by mouth,
That is
So
the best, bro. That is the best marketing. We know it.
You open up your phone and you read a review, you're looking at someone's opinion of in a completely weird context. But if you have someone in person talk to you about, dude, I saw this crazy movie.
Or
it's
someone
different.
their context and their
Especially someone
perspective, right? Right. So like I know if my one
Especially
friend
someone
says it sucked, then I'm going to be like, oh, I know it's good. Or if my one friend says this is great, then I'm like, I know it's great. Like the context of the person delivering that message. There's a personal investment. Yeah, I dig it, man.
It is. It is. Especially if you're passionate about it and you're passionate about another person who cares about movies. You don't want to say like dismissive, like respect their opinion and say like, no, dude, you have to see this movie. It was ridiculous. Like that's the kind of thing we were going for. Or just like it may be like a technical mess and it may just be a little choppy on some things, but the message is clear. And that's all I'm willing to like focus on. I mean, there's going to be sound issues, going to be lighting issues. Sure. But I think it's going to be so powerful that that's going to be forgiven by a general audience. And it will prove that not only are we able to do that, we can do something bigger, but I'd rather do something lighter after this, maybe like a comedy or a horror or something. But I think once we get through this message, that like the hard part's over. Like you're talking about some major things we're addressing here. So after that, it's just downhill and having fun, man. Yeah.
That is awesome. Again, I'm excited, guys. That's why they're on here tonight. And another little shout out to Anger Jimenez. He's one of my officers from Southeast Baltimore. He's a really fantastic guy. He cares a lot about the youth. He's a professional driver. He has a license to do drifting. He's a professional drift racer up and down the East Coast, across the country. He has offered to like take my kids from our youth programs to if they have an event close by, he'll give them like ride-alongs on the drift track. Like really great guy. And we were able to connect him with Jeff for some stunt driving scenes coming up that they're going to film. So like, he's definitely plugging in with Baltimore and in the city. And it's going to be cool for Anger to get his first film credit. He's really excited about that. Cause I'm telling you, he's a beast. Like this dude can drive full speed, 65 miles an hour in reverse, like no sweat, like just butter, bro. Like so smooth. And like his rig he's got on his Beamer is like, it's a professional drift rig and it's sick, bro. He's a sick driver. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for him because he's excited
that'll be a first credit. I don't know if we'll be doing any of that drifting. I'll keep him in mind for when I shoot the next scene.
Well, no, yeah. I was going to say, if you guys do drifting, like if you order another film, if you want to.
No, exactly. Yeah,
he's already got the whole. He's got the whole kit in a car. Like he doesn't drive it. It pulls up in a trailer, and it's the drift kit is a little different suspension work, but it's a tool in your tool belt as a creator that you can go to. And I love the collaborative spirit.
I think what he's and the fact that he's a police officer, and if I need to rent out someone's private drive to say like we'll be escorted by an officer, like this is going to be very safe.
Yeah, how safe is it? Well, our driver's an officer, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and 2 hours. I just need 2 hours up and down your driveway for 15 miles an hour, and I'll be out of your hair. Yeah,
there you go.
But it's very hard to find. So if anyone knows, everyone's turning me down for using the driveway.
How long of a drive do you need?
Oh, like maybe
quarter mile,
50 yards, maybe. Like a farm, like picture out like near Bel Air, like that kind of like those farms there.
Let's
just
talk.
Just a private drive.
I know a couple people.
Yeah.
Right. Out in like Glenarm, Lock Raven Reservoir area, maybe one of those houses.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just 2 hours when it gets dark on a I think it's Friday. Friday the 7th, July 7th.
All right.
Yep, July 7th of that. Yeah.
Yeah, remind me, shoot me an email. We'll get that squared away. Because I do have a couple people.
Yeah.
So we got like 2 minutes left, guys. Any last words you want to share? We'll get you guys on again for sure. But any last words?
Thanks a lot.
I'm just excited, man. Yeah, thanks for having us on. Excited to share more about kind of what we're doing.
Absolutely, and we'll get these guys on. Lenny for sure, Jeff, Dylan, and anybody else in the crew. I might set something up this Sunday. So if you guys want to talk Sunday about some other film stuff and what influenced you, it'd be really cool to maybe have some background context on the films that inspired you and you grew up with, and then seeing how that translates into this film as it becomes a little more released. That'd be really good context. So
join
us, man. I'll send you guys a link.
Awesome.
All right,
Chap.
guys. Thank you so much. Remember,
Yeah.
welcome Sundays at 9:30, Lake Montebello. And this Friday, McCullough Homes, Robert T. Marshall, we're going to have the father-son football game. If you guys want to come through and maybe get some videos and content, or meet some really dope people in the community, check my IG. The Flyers on IG. So we've got one comment real quick. Let's see who's on here.
Oh, Suze.
Looks like you got a little shout out. You know that lady? All right. Thank you, Suze. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Peace and love, family.
Night.
Thanks.
Yeah.